Location, location, location. It's not just about real estate, it's also about where you want to retire. Where do you want to spend those years after you're done working? Hi, my name is Sid Misra, and I'm a certified financial planner who is passionate about financial education. I believe that the more you understand the financial system, the more you're able to use it to your advantage. Now, that goes for those who are just starting out in their journey, those who have been traveling for some time, and those who are nearing retirement. So, how do you decide where you're going to live in retirement? Here are 8 factors to consider when making your decision. One of the first factors that we want to consider is cost of living. Now, what we've seen is food, energy, and healthcare tend to be some of the biggest expenses for retirees after they stop working. You're going to always have to feed yourself, energy for powering your home, you're always going to need that. And then healthcare is going to be a big one as well. As you get older, your healthcare needs and costs are going to rise. You're definitely going to want to find a place that's going to be affordable in these 3 areas. The second thing we want to consider is access to good healthcare. As mentioned previously, as we age, our need for healthcare rises, and actually so do the costs as well. So you want to make sure that the place that you're choosing has access to good healthcare. How are the hospitals? How are the doctors? Are they in network? These are important things that you want to do as research before you pick a place and you settle down. The ultimate question with healthcare is, will I be taken care of the way that I want to, and will it be covered? Number 3 on our list of things that you need to consider when picking a place to retire. Is it safe? Now, this is kind of obvious, right? We don't want to move to a place that's not safe, but unfortunately, as we age, we tend to become targets of those who are trying to take advantage of other people. You want to make sure that the place that you're moving to is safe not only in the day, but also at night. How close are you to public services like police and fire? What are the crime statistics in that area? Are there other things that you need to be considering when moving to that area? And if you're considering moving abroad, this is going to definitely be something that you want to take into consideration. Not everywhere around the world that has a low cost of living is going to be as safe as the United States and some of the places that we have here. So safety is going to be a big concern. Number 4, what are the local amenities? Now, do you have close access to grocery stores and convenience stores? Do you have access to a cleaner or a library that's close by? If you're just visiting a place, for a few weeks, making a 30-minute drive to the grocery store may not be a big deal. But if you're there living, that may add up in a lot of time and a lot of frustration, just having to go that distance to get some stuff. And, if you forget the milk or something like that, it's not a quick trip in town to just pick that stuff up. We want to make sure that the place that we're moving to has the local amenities and the things that we need within a reasonable distance. Now, number 5 is transportation. What is the transportation like in the area that you want to move to? Is it walkable? That may be great for getting fresh air and exercise, but it may not be feasible as you get older into your retirement, as you age, and as some ailments may present themselves, which would make it harder for you to walk. Do you need a car? Right? Is the place that you're moving to only accessible by driving, and the distances are too far to cover with walking? You have to factor that into your costs. Also, parking, right? Where are you going to be parking, and how are you going to be taking care of your car while you're out there? Transportation hub. Are you close to airports and ports and train stations, places where you're able to go and then visit the people that you want to visit or the places that you want to visit, or also making it easy for those people to come visit you as well? In retirement, I'm assuming that you want to go visit your grandkids if you have them. Being close to an airport, train station is going to be a game changer if you want to stay in touch and be able to see them in person. Hey everyone, just wanted to take a quick break from the video. Please stay tuned because we have a lot of valuable information, the other factors that you want to consider when finding a place to live. But this break is just for me to ask, if you're finding this video valuable, please can you give it a like? It helps the YouTube algorithm push this video to more people that may find it valuable and may be able to use this information in their retirement planning. Again, I really appreciate if you could do that. Thank you so much, and let's get back to those factors that you want to consider when picking a place to retire. Number 6, Does this specific place cater to my interests? Now, if you're a hiker, it probably doesn't make sense to go move to the Midwest where there's flat land and there's no real place to go mountaineering or hiking. If you love the beach, then you wouldn't want to go live in the mountains where there's no access to the beach and the open ocean, right? Figure out what you want your retirement to look like and then find the places that are going to support that. It sounds obvious, but you'd be surprised at how many people move to places and they're just bored because they're not able to do the things that they want to. If you love to golf, unfortunately, New Jersey here is probably not the best place to do it year round. You probably want to go down south, Georgia, Florida, Texas, where you can probably golf, over 200 days of the year. So again, ask yourself, what do you want to be doing in retirement? How do you want to be spending your days? And does this location reflect that? Number 7 is more geared towards your finances. Are there any tax benefits available in the place that you're moving to? Now, Florida doesn't have an income tax. I believe Delaware is the same. This is especially important because in retirement, you're on a fixed income, right? You've done all the work up until that point to build up your nest egg, and now you're just drawing down on that. If you're able to go to a place that has tax benefits and has low to no income taxes, that's going to help you make sure your money lasts and make sure you don't outlive your money. Number 8 is also tied into your finances, and more specifically, when you pass, how will your assets be handled? Certain states have certain rules for how assets get passed on to the next generation or to named beneficiaries. What are the protections there for your beneficiaries? What is the process there? Is it an easier process? Are there more type of legal requirements that you may have to go through and legal hoops to jump through to make sure that the people that you want to get the money do? And the main question here is, how will your assets be handled when you pass? And does that align with your wishes? Now, we've gone over the 8 factors to consider when thinking about where to live in retirement. And here's a suggestion, because it's a lot going on and a lot to consider. Start with a trial run. If you've narrowed down the places or the place that you want to live or considering moving to, do a trial run to see if you actually want to live there. Live there for a few weeks, see how it is going to the grocery store every day, going around town, how's transportation, what's the vibe of that area like? What are the locals like? Are they friendly? Are the activities that I want to do there, are they available, right? And I would also recommend doing this at different times of the year. If you're going to a touristy place, maybe try it during the tourist season and also the low season as well. Because if you only go during the low season, you may think that this place is nice and quiet, and then when things pick up, let's say in the summer, you may not like the fact that there are all these people from out of town visiting because things are so much more noisy and there's a lot more traffic and things going on. This is going to be a great opportunity for you to really immerse yourself in that area and figure out if this is your fit, if this fits into what you want to do. And remember, where you choose to live in retirement can have a huge effect on your finances and also your quality of life. Some of the major factors to consider when picking a place to move to in retirement that we've discussed here are cost of living, access to amenities, safety, access to health care, and then also taxes. And then it's always good to try to do a trial run, see if you like living there, see if this is actually the place that you want to be in. It's going to give you a better idea if this fits your vibe and this is what you want. And for those who are deciding or thinking about living abroad, you really have to evaluate the safety and access to healthcare as well. And then accessibility. When you get older, mobility becomes an issue. And some of the things that we take for granted here in this country, things like accessibility in terms of walkways and how things are for those who are less mobile may not be available to you in another country. They may not have that. So the things that you take for granted here may not be available there, especially safety, mobility. You want to make sure that you take that into consideration. Where you live in retirement is going to be a very, very important decision. And it's not one that you want to make in haste. It's not one that you want to make without doing your due diligence. Make sure that you can answer these questions. Make sure you can consider these factors. And if you're having questions, if you have issues, reach out to a professional. This is something that's worth talking about, and it's worth talking to a professional as well. Retirement is meant to be enjoyed. It's the time where you now have time to yourself because of all the hard work and sacrifice that you've done. Make sure that you're doing the things possible to enjoy it to its fullest. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. I'd be humbled if you give it a like if you enjoyed it. And also please subscribe so you don't miss out on any future videos coming out. Thank you so much for tuning in. Take care and stay tuned for some future videos. Thanks.